Hey, what's up, guys? It's Steve again. Kind of an unexpected mail day today. Uh, I might have to splice this into another video, a future video. If I do, then you guys will obviously know because the video will be longer. But today we only have one package, and it came in from Japan again as well. Um, the guy that was delivering it to me actually knocked on my door, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was just going to be left in the mailbox, but it is what it is. It is raining too, so it was a little bit wet by the time he got to my door. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like watermarks all over here and stuff. And there you go. There, look, you still see some of the rain on here. I'll just show you guys. It looks like. See the rain right there? A little bit of spider web. Yep. Yeah, just love the rain. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to the unboxing. So yeah, like I said, I don't know what's really in here. I just gotta open it up and check it out. You guys are we're pretty much on the same page here, guys. So let's see what we get today. Early little Christmas present. Some Japanese newspaper. Vintage item, boys. Japanese newspaper. That's what we paid for. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. These look like Burst Beyblades. He packaged them really nice. You can see them all separate, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I know what this is now. Really nice packaging. I like this style of packaging. But it probably cost them a lot of money just because they put it in a box. It probably cost more money to ship just because of the size. They separately packaged each one of them. Really nice. I like that. Okay, so first off, let's start with this. Burst Beyblades. So this is, I believe this is Xeno Excalibur. And it seems to have all the stickers applied to it. Still in pretty good condition from the front. A little bit of whitening from the top, but that's common. That's not unusual. This is one of the big contact points right here. A little damage there, that's fine. And then, okay, that's good. I thought the performance tip was damaged. It's not. It looks like it's just a little discolored. I can probably clean that up real easily. And it is Takara Tomy because the metal plates here are not plus screws. That's how it's supposed to be. And it looks like we got a 2-star disc. So this is probably a little bit of a deviation from what I usually do on my channel, what you guys probably see, which is a lot of metal fight stuff. But you know, I love Beyblade all around. So Beyblade Burst was actually what got me back into Beyblades, like a year or two ago. And I will never forget that, that night that I picked up the Beyblade Burst Stadium from the retail store. So this is the one forged disc. In case you guys don't know, Beyblade Burst comes in like basically separate parts, and then once you do battle, the Beyblade, obviously, as the name suggests, bursts. So 1, 2, 3, and then once it clicks all the way, it bursts into pieces, and then once they all separate like this, that means that you've lost by burst finish. And that's, I think that rewards you with the most points. Here, as you can see, they got the triangle, tri-shaped wing screws here, or the 3-point screws. That's what Takara Tomy uses for their Beyblades. Now, I know some Metal Fight Beyblades use plus screws. So, I don't know, it just depends on what generation of Beyblades you're looking into, but for the most part, for burst, I think it's always tri-wing screws. So if you see any that are like plus shape screws, it's most likely fake. And the metal pieces like this, maybe even the sword on here, which is metal, they probably have lead, or at least that's what the community says, you know. So, and these are the teeth. This is the mechanism in which Beyblade Burst locks. You see those tiny nubs on that circle, the ring in the middle? Those are called teeth. And these nubs right here are what is applied to them. See those two nubs sticking up at the top over there? These are the things that are the force is applied, and that's what locks them in place. So the bigger the teeth, and the larger the depth, or the deeper the depth, the stronger the teeth are. So this is an attack type, as you can probably tell by the extremely aggressive shape. Attack types tend to have like stronger teeth, just to compensate for the amount of recoil that it has. And the gimmick with Xeno Excalibur is that it's a sword, and as you can see, the whole metal sword goes straight down the middle, and it comes into contact with this one point right here. The gimmick with it is that the forge disc has a lot of its weight on one side of the forge disc. As you can see here, it's like one really big weight point right here, and then two smaller ones on the left side. This makes it unbalanced, and it has more weight on one point. So when you screw this in, like if you put it in like this, and then you lock it into place, after it unlocks 2 times, 1, 2, then the weight aligns with the sword at the tip, and then it's going to have that one last really big hit towards the end of its life cycle. And obviously the performance tip is, I forgot what this tip is called. I think it's called iron. Yeah, iron, like the element. It's basically a metal flat from Metal Fight Beyblade, like what comes on Screw Capricorn. But this one isn't held in high regards like the metal flat in Metal Fight Beyblade. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's too tall, or maybe it just, I don't know. It's not held in the same regard as metal flat in MFB. But yeah, really good teeth and stuff. And this is particularly from Beyblade Burst Evolution in the United States, but in Japanese it's called Beyblade Burst God. And one of the other gimmicks is that you can actually swap out this middle part right here, the blue chip. There's an assembly tool where you can take it out, and then you can put on a heavy metal chip in here, and it makes it a little bit heavier, packs a little bit more punch. Obviously, you probably don't want that for stamina types, because stamina types tend to probably do better if it's lighter. And yeah, let's get on to the next one. So, I believe these are all Beyblade Burst Evolution and God Beyblades. And you can tell if they are, if they have this chip in the middle. All of them have that chip in the middle. So this is Ark Bahamut. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the stickers. That's okay though. This one originally came in a customized set, which came with 4 other Beyblades. And this was one of the exclusive ones. The other one was called Deep Chaos. I don't remember if it's in this set actually, and we'll see in a bit. So Ark Bahamut is based on a Bahamut, or is that what it's called? A Bahamut? I don't remember, but I think it's a sea dragon or something like that. This is a left spinning Beyblade. It is a defense type. You can probably tell with the free spinning plastic ball here, which is called Atomic. This is called Atomic. And the purple edge on the side is actually free spinning as well. So you have 2 free spinning parts here, and as you can probably tell, that gives it a lot of life after death. So this part is before the bearing drivers came out, like the really good bearing drivers in the final seasons of Beyblade Burst. this was like probably the top tier defense performance tip. But after we got things like bearing drive, not bearing drive, I'm sorry, bearing drift and bearing Mobius, stuff like that, this part became obsolete. And yeah, one of the gimmicks here is that it also has a free spinning, well, it's not completely free spinning, but there's a second layer underneath here, and it spins to a certain degree, maybe like 30 degrees or something like that. It lines up with the forge disc right here, these two prongs. You stick them in here, and then once you lock them in place, you actually, if you look at the blade, the second layer under here, you see it moves under. And what it actually does is it makes it more of a complete circle the more that it loosens up. I hope you guys can see that. So the more it loosens up, it fills in these gaps right here between these black blades. And then it makes it more of a perfect circle, making it supposedly even harder to burst, as you can see there from the bottom. So it fills in those gaps. But from my playtesting, it doesn't seem to help too much. There is a future revision of this in an upgraded like season of Beyblade Burst, and I think it performs a lot better. I think it's Beyblade Burst Quad, not Quad. Well, Quad Drive is what it's called in English or in the West, and then in Japan it's called Beyblade Burst Dynamite Battle. So yeah, this one comes with the 7 forge disc. This used to be one of the top tier parts as well for defense. I believe you could use it for like, I guess it would be used for stamina too, but I think 0 and 0 was probably better for stamina because it was just more evenly distributed. Like it distributed the weights more equally and evenly. 7 is unbalanced, of course. There's going to be like 3 points over here. There's like 3 sevens, if you can see it on top there. 7, 7, 7. And then on the other side, it has 4 sevens. One tiny 7 over here. And then 7, 7, 7. So it has more weight on the 4, 7 side. So it'll be a little bit unbalanced, which is what you want for a defense type Beyblade for the most part, you know. Yeah, this was like the second heaviest disc, I believe. The first heaviest one in Beyblade Burst Evolution was 0, which came on Spriggan Requiem. A very popular Beyblade. It's like the Kai. It's like the Kai of Plastic Gen, and he was basically also the, I think, Ryuga of Metal Fight Beyblade. I guess some could also argue that he was the Kyoya of Metal Fight Beyblade, but anyways, he's the main rival to the main character of Beyblade Burst. And here is what we have: a frame. Now on Beyblade Burst Evolution and onwards, they started implementing these forge discs that have the ability to put frames on here. So these are plastic frames. They don't weigh a whole lot. So if you're looking for like weight addition, this is it's very minimal weight, but you know, every little thing does help. It does also add more surface area. So as you can see there, if you put it on, it's obviously a lot bigger and wider. If you take it off, it's not as big and as wide. And what this does is sometimes it just depends on what you want. Like for this one, this is called, the camera focus. This one is called Bump, and it's indicated by the letter B there. It's also on the top as well. And what Bump is what the name implies. It has like a lot of tiny little bumps around the edges. And I think this used to be a very competitive part too, but I wasn't too focused on competitive. And yeah, tiny little bumps there. So I guess we're good for defense, right? And it also extends past the bottom of the forge disc. So if you put this on, like where the letter B was, you would slot that into this part right here. Slot it, push it up, and then you could either twist it to the left or twist it to the right. It doesn't matter. It just locks in. But what I was trying to show you guys was that it actually, some of them actually have risk of making you scrape. Because as you can see, if you put it on, it actually makes it lower to the ground. So yeah, and you hear that little click. It does click in place. I don't know the science behind this whole thing. I don't know how they designed that to make it click, and how they made it so that the plastic doesn't wear down after making contact with the metal. Like usually that's not a good thing, like what we've seen with Beyblade X. Like when the metal makes contact with the plastic, you know, it just destroys the plastic on site. But I don't know. It's good engineering. And again here, yeah. And also the gimmick for this thing, since it's a defense type, it's left spinning and it's like a perfect circle. They didn't want to make it too overpowered, so what they did to balance it out was to make the teeth really weak. As you can see there, the teeth are extremely weak. They just basically slide. And these are it's like a very similar feeling to the English version of Beyblade Burst, where everybody knows that Beyblade Burst in the West, they don't have the teeth, they have slopes where it just slides. Okay, so next, this is the one that I really got this set for. It's for this Beyblade right here. This is called Shelter Regulus, and I believe it's like a lion. If you can see there, there's like the head on top, and then behind it is like the fur or the mane of the lion. And then on the sides, I guess those are the claws. Like, it looks like 4 claws, like, sticking out like this. Sorry, my nails are a little long. But the reason that I got this Beyblade was because this is actually a prize Beyblade from a random booster. And I just didn't want to shell out, like, a lot of money for a brand new one. And the used one is probably just as expensive. Like, a used one on eBay in America is probably as expensive as this whole lot was. So I might as well just order this whole lot from Japan, and then I can get this one Beyblade, and then the rest, since I already have, I'll probably just list them up for sale. Or if they're like in super good condition, maybe, I don't know, keep them. But we'll see what the other Beyblades look like. Unfortunately, this one doesn't come with the stickers, but maybe I can get the replacement stickers from somewhere online. And again, this is a Evolution Beyblade, as you can tell by the piece here in the middle. And yeah, this is really cool because this performance tip is exclusive to this Beyblade. And you can obviously get it from like a random Beyblade as well, like from another random booster. I'm pretty sure they reprinted this piece, and it's in pretty good condition too. It's not like extremely worn down or anything. It's a little dirty. I can definitely clean that up. Oh man, this video is like already 18 minutes long. I guess we don't have to splice this in with another video, but anyway, so I think the main gimmick here was that, let's see, I think these parts are, yeah. So kind of similar to like Final Drive and Final Survive and stuff like that. I don't know, when it's like tilted and off balance, I think one side pulls out or something like that. Or no, when you spin it at full power, I believe centrifugal force pulls these tabs out, right? And then as you can see there, it did pull in the performance tip from the bottom there. And then once the Beyblade tilts over or something like that, I think one of them goes in and then it tilts that way. And then it gives it like this off balance attack kind of thing. Which I thought was just really cool. And here we have the 5 forge disc. And I think the frame is called Star. It's either called Star or something like that. Yeah, it has a letter S. I'm pretty sure it's called Star because it has 5 contact points. As you can see there, like a pentagon. And then 5, obviously, as it suggests, it has 5 points of contact, or 5 big weight distributions. And 5 being an uneven number, it is a little bit unbalanced. I believe it has 2 big blades over here. As you can see, those 2 big blades, and then the 1 big blade, and then 2 small blades up there. So I'm assuming that it has more weight on the left side where there's 3 blades. Yep, the Star disc. Everything is stock combo, so I'm very happy with that. That's why I bought it in the first place. I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't. Now let's check out the teeth. The teeth aren't they aren't too good, it seems. So there's probably, this Beyblade probably bursts a little bit more often than not, but let's check it out again. Yeah, it's pretty loose. It's pretty loose. So I don't know, for being an attack type, it's kind of strange. This might be a balance type actually then. But also the gimmick with this is that these claws under here extend outwards when it's spinning at full power. As you can see, it moves. So the two heads right here, they actually pull out, and then you can see the yellow pieces sticking out like the yellow hair of a lion. And then once these two pieces come out, it also releases the claws on the side. So if I can show you, the claws actually come out from under there as well. But once the two heads retract, the claws also retract. Unfortunately, you can't pull out the claws by itself. Once you pull out the claws, you also pull out the mane or the heads. But in order to release the claws, the heads need to come out first. There, as you can see that. See, once the heads go in, the claws go in. So this basically just gives it a bigger area of impact. So I guess what you want to do with this first is spin it really hard in the beginning, and then the surface area increases once all these prongs come out, the claws in the head. And then I guess it just pushes the other Beyblade out of the stadium for a knockout finish. But I guess once it stops spinning, everything retracts, and then it'll have a little bit more stamina and more defense. And I guess that would make sense if it's actually a balance type, if it does that. So yeah, I think this Beyblade is actually balanced, because when you spin it first, it becomes like an attack type, and then once it slows down, it becomes like stamina and defense. So okay, so here we go. Another reason we got this lot. I actually don't have this Beyblade yet. It is called Cursed Satan, or Cursed Satum in English. It's like, if you're in Metal Fight, this is like Roller Defensor. It has these rolling balls over here. They're not like balls, they're like wheels. These rolling wheels. It has 3 of them. That's basically the main gimmick of it, pretty much. And I forgot what performance tip this is called, but it also has like rollers down here as well. And I guess like the gimmick was that once it's spinning, and then once it scrapes on the stadium, these rollers were supposed to give it more life after death or something like that. But in practice, once it tilts over, it just keeps bumping around like this. It jumps around, and then it loses a lot of stamina. And it's not really good for defense. I think this is supposed to help you, prevent you from being knocked out, but it just kills your stamina, which is not really worth it. And surprisingly, it has really good teeth. So yeah, as you can tell, it's based on Satan. So I think it has like a hexagonal design somewhere. Probably does. I'm just missing it. Let's take a look at the teeth. Really good teeth. They're very, it has a lot of depth to them. And this performance tip is kind of like a cross ball sort of design, which I don't like, because it just, instead of providing like defense, it just kind of makes you scrape on these edges a little too much. Which I guess is good for defense technically, because it prevents you from being like moved around a lot. It has more surface area, but in practice, it just makes it scrape too much on those points, and then it loses a lot of stamina, which just really isn't worth it. Yeah. Let's take a look at the forge disc. It comes with 2, and the frame is called Glive. This is G for Glive. I think it's one of the more competitive parts as well, and I'm not too sure why, but I think it's just because it's heavier. But Glive, it does have these 2 big points over here on the right and on the left, and those are some pretty good contact points. As you can see, it kind of looks more like an oval. It's more like an oval shape. Nice, we got a 4-star disc too. Yeah, nothing too special here. 2 is just an average weight disc. You know, it's 2 points of weight distribution, as you can tell on the 2 diamonds on the left and right. And that actually synergizes with Glive pretty well, because it it aligns up with the 2 contact points of Glaive. Since this is a right spinning Beyblade, those 2 contact points are going to be coming in at you like this. So yeah, you can see where the idea of this Beyblade is going. Yeah, you can also put this every frame. You can also put it on, like, you can put it on any forge disc, and you can put any forge disc on any right or left spinning Beyblade. So if this was spinning left, it would go like this, and the blades would not be as there would not be as much recoil compared to right spinning, obviously. But yeah, cool. This is another Beyblade that I didn't have. It's in good condition as well. Pretty sure it has some of the stickers here. It's peeling off a little bit, but that's okay. Next, a very popular line of Beyblade. This is basically the another rival of the main protagonist. This is called Nightmare Longness. And despite being a Beyblade Burst Evolution Beyblade, or God Beyblade, it technically has like a chip in the middle here. L for Longinus, which is the dragons. It has a lot of weight distributed on the top of the Beyblade, and one very unique thing about this Beyblade is that it uses a chassis system, so it doesn't take a disc. The disc is built into the whole layer, which makes it very top heavy, and at times a little unbalanced, and it loses stamina because of it. But because the performance tip is free spinning, it actually kind of makes up for it, because as you can see there, it's free spinning. It's pretty good for life after death, especially for an attack type Beyblade, where you're not really thinking about life after death if you're trying to knock out the other Beyblade. But here it compensates the top weight, the top heavy layer, by implementing this driver, which is, it's called Destroy. And as you can see there, the performance tip, the actual tip that makes contact with the ground, is like a star-shaped tip, where it has a lot of tiny little jagged tips. So it gives it just enough attack to move like an attack type Beyblade in flower pattern. And then once it slows down and tilts over, it actually hits these ridges, kind of similar to RDF from Death Quetzalcoatl. And then it gives it more like, it gives it a lot of life after death when it hits this. So that's pretty cool. Nice. I also got a 4-star disc from here. It doesn't have a disc, but you can see the 4 stars right there on the chassis. And chassis were reintroduced into the 6th season of Beyblade Burst, I believe, which was called Beyblade Burst Surge in America, and then in Japanese it was called Super King. Some people also like to call it Sparking, because in Japan, Super King, when you say it, Super King, it kind of sounds like you're saying sparking. And another gimmick of Beyblade Burst Sparking was that it had like sparking launchers, where they put flint into the launchers, and then when you pulled the string launcher, the flint would come into contact with other flint, and then it would spark inside of the launchers, which is pretty cool. I actually have it, but it's somewhere in storage over there. I just don't want to take it out. I have a lot of stuff here. But yeah, so it has like 4 metal dragon heads here, with 2 really large protruding plastic silver wings on the side. And it looks like it has metal dust in here, but I'm pretty sure it's just like generic glitter. Yeah, the 4 dragon heads over here, so 2 of them are like movable to a certain degree. And the gimmick here is that once it clicks like 2 or 3 times, like 1 and then 2, 3, it comes closer to the 2 silver wings over here. And then it gives it much more impact on the really big points. Like if you see the points right here, top and then the bottom, the weight comes backed up to those points, and it gives it a really big attack. Very similar to Xeno Excalibur, like I was talking about earlier. So yeah, in terms of design, I guess those are pretty similar, but they just act in different ways. Where Xeno Excalibur focuses on 1 point, Nightmare Longinus focuses on like 2 points, right? And it being top heavy also makes it tilt a lot. So when it tilts, it's going to give it a lot of attack power. And when the heads are not like unlocked yet, they come over to the base of the wings over here where the contact points are smaller. So you still have pretty good contact points. Like if you can see right here, this really big blade that comes out, and then there's two tiny ones after that. But yeah, after that, what you want to do is make sure that it gets to right here. And that's only possible if you just launch it, and then it'll happen naturally in battle. You can't control it. Yeah, and like I said, the piece in here is made of metal, so it's actually non-retractable. You cannot take it out. It's fused into the layer. So yeah, really beautiful Beyblade. One of my favorite designs. I remember when I bought it brand new, I unboxed it. It was so shiny. It looks so good. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with these stickers, but that's okay. I have one that I have the actual stickers for, and I'm gonna probably sell this one. Yeah, really cool Beyblade. Moving on to the next one. Okay, another Evolution Beyblade. Pretty sure this whole lot is Evolution Beyblades. This one is called Killer Death Scyther. In America, I believe it's called I think it's just called Doomsizer. I don't think it has like a first name. So, as you can probably tell, it's based off of like a Grim Reaper. Really, really cool motif. And on the right side there, you can see that it has like a really large scythe. And then towards the tip, it has this blue piece right here, which is actually movable. And it does work, which is really nice. And the whole gimmick with this thing is that I think it's supposed to be a little bit unbalanced. And then when it spins and it hits you at this particular point, there is actually a gap in the design right here. There's like a gap where there's no other gap in this Beyblade besides this other tiny one on the side right here. But this big gap up here, once you hit this point, the second blade comes into motion, and then it comes in for a second attack. So that's the whole gimmick to this thing, and other than being off balance, I think. Doesn't seem to be off balance actually. Maybe I was thinking of the future version of this Beyblade, which was off balance. It also comes with a 2 forge disc, and the frame is called Vortex. As you can see the letter V there for Vortex. It has 3 main points of contact for the Vortex frame. As you can see, there's basically three big wings, so 1, 2, and 3 on the top. It doesn't really have any big synergy with this Beyblade. This being the 2 disc, and it's not very triangular in design. I don't know why they put that on here, but you know, oh well, it is what it is. Let's take a look at the teeth real quick. Has pretty good teeth. Pretty good teeth. I wish it did. Well, I think it does come with the stickers, huh? The stickers are applied already. Yeah, they are applied on the blade here and everything. Nice. This one's peeling off a little bit. I might just either cut it off or I don't know. Yeah, I might just cut that off because that looks a little annoying to look at. Yeah, really cool design here. As you can see the face of the Reaper in there. And you can see his hand. You can see his 4 knuckles. That's really cool. I think his other arm comes down here too actually and holds the bottom of the scythe. Really cool Beyblade. One of my favorite motifs. I think this actually comes with the wrong performance tip. This performance tip is called Spiral. It's like Medio El Drago's left right. What is it called? LR? I forgot what Medio El Drago's tip is actually called, but it's basically this thing. And this is designed for a left spinning Beyblade. But this is a right spinning Beyblade. It's not gonna grip very well. You can still use it on a right spinning Beyblade. It's just not gonna have the same performance. I think it was supposed to come with like a rubber flat type of performance tip, but I'm gonna have to look that up again. I'm not too sure. Alright, moving on to the next Beyblade. Another huge fan favorite Beyblade. This one is called Drain Fafnir. It is a left spinning Beyblade. This was the very first Beyblade released in its line. The owner is called Free De La Hoya, and he instantly became a classic, another rival to the main character. He's a left spinning stamina type. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that Killer Death Scyther was like an attack type. This is a left spinning stamina type, and the main gimmick that it has is that it has rubber on its layer. So this was the first Beyblade in Beyblade Burst to have rubber introduced on the layer, I believe. And since it is left spinning, it has a stamina performance tip. It's kind of like looks kind of like a defense or wide defense performance tip, but it is actually a sharp performance tip. It's a little worn down, but not as worn down. That's not like the worst that I've seen. If this Beyblade is really good for spin stealing, just like Medio El Drago. It doesn't have a lot of rubber on it. As you can see here, the blades have the purple pieces right here are rubber. You can see if I push into it, you can see my nail indentations. There. You will not see that on these. These are plastic. So the blue parts are basically rubber. Besides this part, actually, this part's plastic. So maybe these more magenta purple. Not magenta, there's more like purple, blue. Yeah, so, but even so, just that little bit of rubber helps it ever so much. And it is more of a triangular design, but it's circular enough to, just be good. Just be good enough. And this is a dragon. It's a dragon motif. It's like a golden purple dragon. As you can see there, it has like the claws, 3 claws on 3 triangular points. And the center seems like a green energy ball where it's reaching for the energy ball there. Yeah, so pretty nice there. You can see the dragon heads, I believe. The mouth, you see the blue mouth right there, the teeth. The ear is like the red part right there, and then the rest is like the neck. It has the rubber, so that's pretty cool. Decent teeth. Let's check out the teeth. So yeah, there's also a trend where stamina type Beyblades have pretty good teeth as well. Not as strong as attack types, but good enough to be able to be used by attack types as well. But yeah. Did we take a look at under? We did, huh? So this is what it looks like under. And then we'll take a look at the disc. The disc is called 8. So as the name suggests, 8 points of distribution there. You can see there that has 4 on each side of the forge disc. On the bottom here. Yep. Nothing too special, just an evenly distributed weight disc. And then here we have, again, this is called the Nothing Driver. And the reason it's called Nothing is that one of the special moves in the TV show is called Nothing Break. And then when it actually recesses like this, it's based off of a spring. It has a spring gimmick in here. So once you launch it, it kind of bounces like this. But another good thing that this is for shock absorption. So when other Beyblades hit you, it actually absorbs the shock a little bit. So it kind of prevents you from getting knocked out. Just ever so slightly. Yeah, this is one of my favorite performance tips here. Yep. Moving on to the final Beyblade. So here, let's see what we have. What actually is this? I think it's just zoo tape or something like that, kids tape. Okay, this is also another Beyblade I didn't have. This is called Alter Kronos. This is the rival Beyblade to Deep Chaos, I believe. The one that I mentioned earlier that also comes in the customized set with Ark Bahamut. And this one's gimmick, I'm not too familiar with this one. I haven't done my research on this one. Kronos, I believe, is a titan in Greek mythology. And This is a balance type Beyblade with the trans performance tip. You can actually change the performance from kind of like a sharp performance tip right here. And then when you turn it, let me see how you turn it. Yeah, when you turn it, it becomes like a whole flat. So it's very similar to Storm Aquario's whole flat sharp performance tip. Let me see if I can show you guys in live action. There you go. So there's a sharp. And then there's like whole flat. So this is not a very competitive part by any means. It's just it's just a nice little gimmick here we have for this balance type Beyblade. And if you look, you can actually see the blue eyes on the bottom right there of the design. Yeah, there's a little bit of hair on here. Kind of nasty. And it does seem to have all the stickers on here, these yellow parts of the stickers. As you can see there, it has like 5 really big blades here for, I don't know, attack and defense. Pretty big contact points, but the teeth are actually really strong. So it's probably not going to burst as often as other Beyblades. Really good teeth there. And, I think there's a mode change gimmick in the layer as well. It looks like there's a mode change gimmick. This whole black piece right here looks like you can move it or something. I don't know how to unlock that though. Yeah, I'm not too sure how to unlock this gimmick. Oh, there it goes. You just slide it. All the way to the other side? Not sure what that does. Does that make it more round or something? Were those black parts always there before between those gaps? Let's check it out. Not too sure what this does. Okay, so it clicked into place. Okay, I think I see what it is. So, you see here the black parts that filled in these gaps. It has like tiny little nubs sticking out at the end over here. These 2 nubs. They stick out of these gaps. So I'm assuming this gives it more recoil. And then once you twist it on over, I believe. I don't know how you twist it over. Oh, okay, so it turns to the right, not the left. Does it click into place? Yeah, it clicks into place over here too. So now there's no little nub on here anymore. Now it's more like a complete flush circle. So maybe this gives it less recoil. Yeah, it hides the 2 nubs right here under the blade. So there should be less recoil. That's pretty cool. Okay, so maybe for stamina mode, you want it to be in the flush circle for less recoil. And then when you switch it to attack mode, or sorry, this is attack mode, stamina. So when you switch it to attack mode, the whole flat, maybe you want the nubs to actually protrude here for more recoil. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see the forge disc here. Oh man, this frame is stuck on pretty good. I don't want to take it off. Okay, so it's kind of not rusty, but it's kind of oxidized more than the other Beyblades I've shown so far. This is called 6. It has 6 points of weight distribution. As you can see there's like 6 wings, 3 on each side. The frame is called Meteor. As you can see there, the letter M. And Meteor it's kind of similar to Star. Star from what I showed you guys on... Where did Star come on? Star came on Shelter Regulus. It has 5 points like a star. Meteor also has 5 points. Meteor also has 5 points, but instead of being like sharp protrusions, it's more of like a bladed protrusion. So you can see there. So if this is spinning to the right, it's going to have more recoil on these points. As you can see, there's already stress marks right here from making impact on other Beyblades. And then if you're using this on a left spinning Beyblade, it'll spin this way and it'll have less recoil. So that's cool. Really cool Beyblade. I also didn't have this one, so another one for the collection. And I also have another burst lot coming in, and I'm pretty sure these are going to be duplicated. I think I saw Alter Kronos and some other Beyblades, but the next lot that I'm going to be getting is going to be more of the first season of Beyblade Burst. These are all second season of Beyblade Burst, which is called Evolution, or also known as God. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about these Beyblades. Do you guys play Burst? What do you guys collect? What's your favorite season? And yeah, if you guys like this video, just go ahead and press that like button. And subscribe for more content like this. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss an upload. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.